Welcome back to another episode of Georgia Forages, the digital series. My name is Dr. Lisa Baxter, and I'm your University of Georgia State Forage Extension Specialist. We are continuing our theme of the cost of cutting corners again this week by considering the economic benefit of drilling versus broadcasting forages. Again, let me say, I am not an economist, so any calculation presented in this video are what many of us would call a back-of-the-envelope calculation. All numbers are based on University of Georgia Extension recommendations. In the majority of production situations, forage seed can be placed more precisely with a seed drill or cultipacker seeder than by broadcasting and disking. Seeds require good seed-to-soil contact for optimum germination, stand establishment, and forage yield. The number one cause of planting failures, especially for small-seeded forages, is planting too deep. This can occur using a drill or broadcasting method. Planting depth is critical because seeds have a finite amount of energy available in the endosperm. As the first leaf blade emerges from the soil, it must be at the soil surface to begin photosynthesis before these reserves are exhausted. The drill should be set so that the coulter is cut about twice the depth of the seed size. Millets, sorghums, and small grains should be planted between a ½ inch and an inch deep, while small-seeded forages such as ryegrass, crabgrass, and clovers should not be planted more than a ½ of an inch deep. Broadcasting seed using something like a spinner spreader can lead to poor seed-to-soil contact and variable seed placement, even when followed by dragging or disking. Consequently, we will need to increase the recommended seeding rate by 25 to 30% to compensate for these challenges. Before we look at a few examples, let's review how to correct grass seed for pure live seed. All of our extension recommendations are made on the pure live seed basis, but the bag of seed that you purchase may not be 100% pure live seed and will need to be adjusted for differences in viable seed and purity. When you look at the label, you will see a percentage reported for germination, purity, and possibly an inert coating material. Multiply these percentages to determine your correction factor. For our examples today, we will assume 95% purity and 85% germination. So all of our recommendations will be divided by 0.8 to determine the actual seeding rate. Now let's look at a few examples. We recommend planting rye at 90 to 120 pounds of pure live seed per acre, or 111 to 149 pounds when corrected following our assumptions for pure live seed. If we assume rye seed costs 50 cents per pound, we are looking at $55 to $74 per acre in seed costs if we plant using a drill. Broadcasting requires 25% more seed than drilling, so we would be looking at 113 to 150 pounds of pure live seed, or 139 to 186 pounds of seed when corrected using the same assumptions. This would increase our seeding cost to $70 to $93 per acre, a difference of roughly $14 to $19 per acre, depending on our planting rate. Let's look at another example using pearl millet. We recommend planting pearl millet at 12 to 15 pounds of pure live seed per acre, or 15 to 19 pounds when corrected following our assumptions for pure live seed. If we assume pearl millet seed costs $3.50 per pound, we are looking at $52 to $65 per acre in seed costs if we plant using a drill. Since broadcasting requires 25% more seed than drilling, we would be looking at 15 to 19 pounds of pure live seed, or 19 to 23 pounds of seed when corrected using the same assumptions. This would increase our seeding costs to $65 to $81 per acre, a difference of roughly $13 to $16 per acre depending on our planting rate. Let's take this another step to see if this difference could justify the cost of a drill. No-till drills vary in size, features, and cost. Therefore, we will consider drills at 3 different price points for our next scenario. If we divide the cost of the drill by our anticipated savings in seed costs for the low planting rate of rye, we would only need to plant 359 acres to cover the cost of the drill. This number, of course, increases with the increasing in drill costs, but even if we consider the most expensive option, it's still just over 1,000 acres. When we perform the same calculation for our higher seeding rate of rye, we would need to plant 269 to 808 acres. Following the same calculations and assumptions with pearl millet, we would need to plant 385 to 1,154 acres to cover the drill at the 3 price points at the lower seeding rate, and 308 to 923 acres at the higher seeding rate. Now this may seem high, but it's not uncommon for producers in Georgia to plant at least 50 to 100 acres of annual forages each year. So even the largest acreages in our scenario could be achieved in at least 10 to 15 years. The actual time would be even shorter if we acknowledge the improvements in yield and stand persistence, but those are more difficult to generally calculate. A seed drill can last much longer than 10 to 15 years if regular upkeep and annual maintenance is performed, making a drill a solid investment for many producers. For more information on forage management and planting recommendations, please visit our website and check out our other videos on our Facebook page and YouTube channel.